Hello, hello, it's John Binnie. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Oh wow, Monday. What am I doing in my camper van on a Monday? Well, let me explain. It's a beautiful sunny day and I'm meeting a friend for lunch. So I thought rather than stick around at home in the morning and just do my client session at home and then go out for lunch, I thought, why not head out of home, do my client session on the road, and then meet up with my friend, and then I get more time for everything, including chatting with you. And Patch is with me. We're going to take him to Haddington and take him for a walk. He loves it there because he just loves all the smells. Now, it is a really beautiful sunny day. I'm just going to, if you're ever wondering why I drive along this road and flip my camera around, it's really just to avoid unnecessary filming of some people, especially younger people. Like I don't need to. Oh, so I wanted to talk to you about the sun's ascension. And just before I do, just mentioning that the meditation message today was all about scale and how everything in the universe is repeating patterns. And as humans, we often struggle with the concept of scale, right? That we often over-engineer things. I know this from software engineering in particular, that will make things really complicated. And actually often it's because we're just overthinking things and we need them the most successful scaling solutions are often the simplest. So for example, I was shown the smallest snail in the world, and I guess it's out there somewhere, right? There's an actual little tiny snail that is the smallest of all snails in the world right now, and that its shell is a spiral. And then I was shown that this is reflected in the spinning motion of the Earth. Now, quite how that works with the Earth's orbit, I don't know, but I guess it makes more sense if you think about, if the sun was always static and never traveled through space, then we often oversimplify things and think that, well, the planet is just kind of going around the same area of space, spinning as it goes, but it's not, right? It's constantly moving forwards and it's following the sun. So I don't know the exact shape of what that looks like or how fast the sun is traveling through the universe, but it helps me understand a bit more about how these concepts work. I was shown that galaxies spin, which we know, although more, as I was saying yesterday, more surprisingly, from the James Webb telescope, we learned that the fascinating thing about the galaxies is that many of them spin in the same direction. And I was shown, like, unequivocally, that the universe is also just a giant galaxy of galaxies. And it makes sense, right? Like, why have a different pattern for different sizes? Why not, create the universe in an ever-repeating pattern? It makes perfect sense to me. Anyway, there's that, right? So just sharing that with you, and that along with scaling, it also helps us understand how our little hearts, because our hearts I resonate with the theory of the toroidal field of the heart more than I do with the heart as a pump. And so you can research this. I can, if I remember to, I can dig out some of the research that's been done into this. And it's so fascinating to I feel like we're just always learning more and more about the heart. And that whatever our thoughts, feelings, and actions are, they resonate out across the universe, just like the scaling patterns of the swirls of a snail are reflected in the swirling size of the universe. And it's so fascinating. Like, do you think the snail thought that it should grow to be the same pattern as the universe? I don't think so. I think it's more like the patterns themselves kind of echo through everything, like they resonate through everything. So just like our thoughts, our feelings, and actions resonate out across this universe. Sometimes, I must admit, it's really easy to think that we're just one person and we have little effect. Yet we can see individuals across the world right now having a huge impact. Just one person. And what's different between them and us? Nothing, right? Well, I mean, as people, as humans, perhaps there's big frequency differences in us. Perhaps there's big behaviors and motives and intentions, but we're all still human and we're all equal beings. We're just not born into the same circumstances, same experiences. So yeah, let me talk about the sun's ascension, because I promised to. So the sun is ascending. I heard that the sun is going through, there's some pressure from the other stars around our night sky on our sun. And I feel like this is in part like an encouragement to say, please do ascend, like please support the ascension of Earth. And what our sun is being very cautious about is this aspect of, well, if it goes ahead and gets on with the ascensions of the sun, a bit like, imagine Earth's ascensions are more like earthquakes and storms, and like as you almost like cracking out of an egg, an eggshell, some of the surface breaks, etc. And what the sun's been holding back for as long as possible is like these big steps up, these big bursts. So we would see it as solar activity, but we're getting close to being ready. And also there's this kind of, a bit like ourselves, we can end up in situations where, in a path where we've chosen ascension, we don't always get to choose the smooth only, right? If you say yes to your own ascension and raising your vibration, you also are subject to the roller coaster of energy. And plus, there's a lot of energy going through our sun right now, and the way I see it is flowing from source into Patches is staring at me. Flowing from source into our galactic sun, and then into our own sun through each of their heart chakras. And that chain of energy can only be held by our sun for so long before it's released. And so our sun is like getting ready for more activity. Now, it's not activity that we're really used to in the past. These will be higher frequencies. They will have more of a material effect on our reality, and it'll start to push us more into the fourth and then fifth dimension. And I say push us for those of us that have chosen this wild ride, this roller coaster of ascension. I'm just remembering some of my songs like Ascension Elevator, ooh, I'm stepping into a high vibration. I can't remember all the words. Surprise. What else is happening with the sun? Yeah, that it doesn't seem as capable as Gaia. Gaia seems more happily stretched across, or to coexist support the coexistence of different dimensional bubbles within the same, we would describe as the same physical space. So I've spoke about this many times in other videos, like different houses in a street, having like a bubble around them, and this is like the dimensional bubble that the frequency of the occupants and the home, everything together, creates. So very high vibrational bubbles could be fourth, fifth dimension coexisting on the same street with heavier, denser third dimension homes and people. So Earth is capable of this. The Sun does not feel capable of this, and I'm not sure why exactly. Maybe we'll find out in time. But it's like the Sun has to go, like, just, it's such a powerhouse, it has to shift gears. It can't just, try and run multiple gears at the same time. I guess the gearbox breaks. And so these higher frequencies, there will be some effect. I've been chatting a lot with my guides about this. There'll be some effect on things like our electronics, our national electricity systems, like our grids, etc. And so the first piece of advice is to ground yourself. I have a regular grounding practice to feel the difference before and after you ground, to feel the difference in your body, and have an intention of releasing excess energy into the earth. This will really help clear out and declutter you, to clear out more space for you to receive more upgrades and allow a smoother ascension. I must admit, as I'm talking, I feel like I'm channeling this. The next thing is the aspects of the effect on our electronics and various systems. There will be some disruptions, but they'll be more like solar storms, solar activity. This is how, keep an eye on the Schumann resonance. It's a shame it doesn't run absolute real time, but you often get within the last 12 or 24 hours. Observe the patterns of the Schumann resonance and how it feels to you. And these are a crude measure of some of the ascension energies coming from the Sun. I don't think it picks up the full frequency range, but it is it's a start, right? And it's a public data source you can look up. I'm sure I've shared it on my my YouTube posts, community page somewhere. If you scroll down far enough, you'll find it. And we don't need to panic so much about the solar activity and the effect on our systems. It's more that being prepared for some disruption, and it feels like hours and days, not weeks and months or years. Making sure everything's grounded and all your, one thing you may choose to do is just unplug stuff when you're not using it, and that way you reduce the chance of overloaded energy coming through our electrical circuits and into devices. I am also, very interestingly, I'm both a geek about looking into getting solar panels and perhaps a battery system at my home. I was asking my guides about it, and they're saying you don't have to do that. And in fact, the solar panels themselves may act as a kind of conduit, as a conductor for some of these energies. So they're not all, nothing's a perfect system, if you like. But they did say that if I was to have a battery system, if I could, to put it inside the house, this will help shield it from the sun, directly affecting it. So that was really interesting. And what was the other advice? Yeah, getting out in the sun is very, very helpful, a bit like I'm doing today, because when you're out in the sun, it helps acclimatize you, to calibrate you, attune you to the sun's energy, and pay attention to the light. It's like the light is getting a bit brighter and whiter. Now we still have the blue skies like we have here. In fact, they look even bluer on my camera than I can see with my visual eyes, with my two eyes. But know that it's all very real, and that it fascinates me that the sun is the biggest, most dominant body outside of the Earth on our lives, and yet with things like I really don't know much about astrology, but people don't seem to talk that much about the sun. It doesn't seem to be discussed much in our weather. We don't talk about the health of the sun much. There are some probes that go to the sun, etc., but that just fascinates me. Why would we ignore the literal elephant in the solar system? Largely. So I would just encourage you to start to learn a bit more about the sun, and also the soul of the sun. Now, whenever I connect with the sun metaphysically, like when I ask to connect and channel the sun, it's this very like Ra energy that comes through for me, and I feel that's the strongest soul energy that comes forwards for me. But to know that the sun does have a soul that you can talk to, and just allow yourself to feel into this beautiful spring, well, depending on where you are in the world. There's certainly here in the northern hemisphere, we're enjoying some sunshine coming into spring, and seeing it for what it is. Like, we're going through this portal, or coming towards the end of like the equinox portal, and it's not just a portal for energy or the earth. It's for all of us, and it's a birthing. It's almost like it feels like a bit like a contraction, like as women go through contractions just before pregnancy. That's, to me, what this birthing feels like. It's like a exciting, yet in part, once you've consented to the kind of pregnancy of your new self, the birthing of your ascended self, once you've agreed to that you're starting to really open up and allow this birthing to start, this ascension to start. So how exciting. Anyway, to share a little bit more about what we're doing, I'm meeting up with my dear friend Natasha Russia. You know, I do work with her on the Mindful Leadership podcast, and we also do events and live streams together. So we're meeting up to chat, and she's been away in India, as we heard about in the last Mindful Leadership podcast that we did. So that was really cool to both see her there, but also it's going to be amazing to catch up. And I haven't told her yet that I can turn up a bit earlier. So let's see what happens. And finally, as we're a bit stuck in traffic, some gratitude. Thank you for your kind, loving support and comments on the angelic protection against psychic attacks. That was a really beautiful video to create. Like, I really, really enjoy creating those. And when you're in flow, a bit like when I'm talking just now, and isn't that a beautiful cloud up there? When you're in flow, you feel effortless and energized and rewarded. And so it's a celebration for me to be able to give you that time and to be able to give it to you free of charge. Lots of you have reached out, even if you haven't commented on the video, a lot of you have reached out directly to me and just thanked me and shared some of your more personal experiences. And just say thank you for sharing them. It means a lot to me, because that was close. I almost went across, but now I've completely blocked the the walkway, which wasn't the best. And I'll just go back here to let these people across. I think they'll enjoy that more. But yeah, it was just lovely having people's, like, hearing people's experiences, and they're really wonderful, like, benefits you can get from what I feel is like somewhere I'm learning, and the key to all of this work is the, how to describe it, like the it's all about ownership, right? It's all about us taking ownership of our energy, of our boundaries, being able to step into our power. And whilst I can absolutely help, in a one-to-one session, there's often it's really the person themselves that does the hard work, and I'm there to help. I'm there to help teach, to help people learn how to take their sovereignty back. And I feel like there's lots of themes in people who have challenges with psychic attacks and demonic attacks, etc. And and if I just talk about some of my experience, it is often when I've not had pure, clear boundaries that I'm more susceptible, that I'm more vulnerable. Oh, look at this day, it's so magical. So yeah, just grateful that you've been enjoying that. And I also shared a video about the red flags yesterday, and isn't that lovely to be able to do a video where I can give you like a practice for you to do. I've actually added that protection meditation video into the 14-day negative entity removal meditation challenge, which is free. So it's like another way, like an optional way of being able to expand your practice. And I love, like, with videos as well, where I can just talk to you as a human, talk about the concepts and the different challenges and things to look out for, because it's a heart, mind and soul, right? We're a combination of all these things. So yeah, I'm going to pull up here and pack up for the day. I don't know when I'll head back. It's handy that it's right next to the supermarket, so I can always buy something. So I think at the longest I would stay here and do my live stream here, but I suspect I'll head home before the live stream. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for your love, support. Good luck with your ascension. Keep meditating. Keep following your own practices, following your truth, keeping out of fear. And it feels like that, on the subject of scaling, the more and more I realize about my journey is I was doing some work over the weekend on my website, just to make it easier and simpler. And a big part of that is like scaling, right? Like simple scales. Oops, you see that car? So yeah, I'm going to park up, and I hope you have a beautiful day. And I need to just do this to get out the sky's way. Let's give me a wave, thank you. I would, I'm too busy driving to stop the video. That's funny. But yeah, it's gorgeous here. I could literally live here. Imagine living outside a supermarket. It'd be funny. Let's get clients to come along and do sessions here. That'd be a lot of fun. Great. Well, thank you so much. Take care. Sending love.